that is nothing but the integrity of previous and the latter. Just as we know that in case of the causal or anti-causal application, in case of signal system, workflow is just like the causal activity where everything which may be executed a few minutes later should rely on properly depend on the first architectural model, because unless and until that model is run well, the outcome will not be leveraged simultaneously or fruitfully. So the fact is that in case of the MATLAB oriented execution, the workflow integration is very important. And last of all, as it has been written here, MATLAB is trusted. Yeah, we know that in case of modern activity, in case of each and every types of the research practices, each and every types of the academic activities or beyond that, the trust is an essential prerequisite. Why encode to encrypt the particular work by virtue of .p format? Yeah, that is called protected format. And just once the format has been encrypted .p, decryption can never be made possible, or this particular work can never be decrypted. So the fact is that two hard pieces there when MATLAB is accessed. So this is the format functionality by which a pyramid of success is found by MATLAB oriented application and as I had told you earlier, a de facto standard in each and every territories of modern application. So now I am coming to MATLAB oriented task, which is nothing but the challenge taking task. Yes, a particular teacher or a group of students learn MATLAB. The basic target is to crack any type of real time, real life based phenomena. That is a challenger's job. Whenever the user gets accustomed to various types of the toolboxes, the target is to access these toolboxes or how to implement these toolboxes in various types of the working activities, working territories, so that the particularization in the real-time application domain can be there, from taking the access of files up to instrumentation or instrument-oriented link up, how the bridge can be developed using MATLAB. That is the part of this task-oriented job. Because we have to know MATLAB, the first or the prima facie of this study is there in how the implementation will be there, because we are spending much more time as well as money behind this task, behind this particular study or the session. There should be something which is unique that can be accessed as a result or as the outcome of the session, for which MATLAB has been accessed in a particular part, and MATLAB can be exported to another part, and that MATLAB actually shows, that MATLAB actually highlights by its own unique procedure of workflow, as I had told you earlier, by which we can get different types of the application domain, where in one part the user data can be imported to the software corner, and in another part the instruments are present to get the processed data flow. And that is the actual syntactical MATLAB oriented, and that is task as it has been written here. You can see MATLAB also provides processed data easy extensibility, which is own MATLAB oriented, and that is the part which has been studied here, which has been written here, to make the particular showcase or to make the particular accessibility to a right side oriented kernel, to to a right corner to make it off to the right corner in lieu with the application oriented simplicity of MATLAB. And that has been studied by different universities span the world. And therefore, the fact is that when the MATLAB is accessed, when the MATLAB is learned, the actual is that how it can the actual part or necessity of studying the MATLAB. And therefore, we can show a particular pedagogical task of teaching and learning using MATLAB where four folds or four sectors lie. As you can see, that challenge, empower, mentor, and connect. These are the four assemblies present in almost each and every cases of teaching as well as learning schedule. And ideally, when a challenge taking part is accessed, the question is how it can be there in our present session for which it has been highlighted here. The answer is, as I had told you earlier, that MATLAB means look into challenges. Yes, that is the particular part which has been started, which has been initiated from the very beginning of learning tasks. When a group of students were given some particular tasks that is taken to be challenge or challenge taking tasks, actually, based upon these challenge taking tasks or challenges that are in lieu with the real life situation, they were asked by their mentor to crack them out. And just once they crack this, they are empowered because they have switched to a new level of knowledge. Very simply, we know that in case of a physics oriented class, unless and until the numerical problems are cracked, students cannot be enjoyed or the teacher will be simultaneously following the same panel too, because of the fact that these numerical problems always in case of any type of science parts, science subjects, majorly in case of physics or whatsoever, lie in the same plane of the real life oriented study or real life oriented study modules. So similarly, in case of the engineering application also, the challenge is imparted to the students at the first priority of this learning process. And this challenge is nothing but a particular problem which is a real time, real world based problem. Well, so when the challenge is cracked by the student, when they can study the particular task or when they can give into the particular domain, they can give some input in that particular job also. They are easily empowered because they have come to some new arena of study. And by this empowerment, they can also give some mentorship to a set of students or their followers. And in this way, the nation can be developed, which is the last part of this learning teaching pedagogy known as the connectivity. The fact is that in case of the practical application or practical application based study, as I had told you earlier, of modern days, this challenge is the first and foremost criteria in each and every cases of the study in which the situation will give some experience, and experience being the best teacher will make the rapid evolution in the group of students. So how the student or the group of students will learn? The answer is they will learn by doing and learn from mistakes. Of course, the fact is that when the mistakes in their work activity is incurred, they can get something which is totally a new domain, because mistakes are totally probabilistics, and the probability of this mistake may switch the student to a new area of study, and therefore it has been treated as mistakes are the portals of discovery as per James Joyce. Of course, by virtue of some mistake they will learn, but the fact is that if the mistakes are intentional, obviously it is nothing but a debacle. But for the current presentation, for the sake of simplicity, if we consider that they are asked to develop something without any rough work, obviously there is 100% chance of this mistake. So the fact is that if something be given to them by which the illumination on the particular project can be there as a privilege of the project, something can be there, then the number of the mistake, then the level of the mistake may somehow decrease. And therefore, it is very authentic to give something new to the students. And Matlab, in this context, provides a unique idea to make the enthusiastic discovery by virtue of handling several toolboxes. And now we will start with exercising such a case in which this particular exercise of MATLAB oriented applications may be enumerated from different corners. Now, audience, that I am taking a particular switch over the MATLAB online part, for which I have to stop this particular presentation and come to the main session of the MATLAB oriented exercise. Well, so you please comment that whether the screen is visible or not. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. Fine. 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 Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yes, yes, yes. I am switching to that part. But as in case of each and every types of webinar or session, it is mandatory to elucidate some part which is in line with the present context. Therefore, it has been elapsed. The part has been elapsed in this way. Well, now I am coming to the main part of the MATLAB presentation, and some problem where I will show some particular cases. I will show something which is in line with the MATLAB oriented practices by virtue of taking the help of MATLAB online. Now, the fact is that with MATLAB online in this case, but before going to the online practice, MATLAB oriented practice, which is based upon some MATLAB drive oriented usage, it is somehow customary to highlight that this MATLAB online is totally limited based upon the license activity. It is totally based upon CWL license activities, campus wide license activities, for which not all the users can grab the online task. But this online based application domain is totally limited to the CWL customers only. And the fact is that when we take the help of the MATLAB online, we can readily use our platform, our home-based platform, or the particular desktop, laptop from any corner in the world where a unique user ID and password is required. And when we implement this unique user ID as well as the password, we can get 5 GB of space in the cloud, in which we can store the program, we can download the program, and we can re-exercise on the program. So the fact is that now, as you can see here, there is no MATLAB in my desktop, but till I am using MATLAB online to show some programs, to show some problems in the context of this particular webinar, for which I am giving the particular user ID, and based upon this online platform, expect that can be analyzed well. Okay. Now, as you can see here, the online portal has been opened. Whether the screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, 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 fine. The fact is that I am going to show some problems, some typical parts of the problem using the online programming architecture module, where only the MATLAB web or MATLAB cloud is being implemented. And the fact is that as per the agenda of this webinar, I will show something that is totally based on the online platform. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I am going to show you a particular program, Algebraic Solve, using the online platform. The fact is that, as I had told you, that I am not carrying MATLAB with me, but still I am showing these particular programs in the online platform using MATLAB online only. And I start with the very basic program of solving equations, algebraic equations. And as you can see here, whether you can see each and every comments in this particular window, whether it is clear to all of you, whether you can see it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, okay, fine, fine. I'm starting with solution of algebraic equation. Okay, very basic part. The first part, you can take it as syntax or you can ignore it also, because as you can see, CLC, clear all and close all, these three comments are there. Only we can put CLC only, and whenever this CLC clear the screen is prompted, everything becomes already vanished, and the screen is totally clear to make any type of programmed interruption. Well, now my task is to develop some algebraic solution where we are given basically two equations, as you can see here: x plus 2y equals to 2 and 4x plus 5y equals to 3. These set of equations are given here. Now, question is, there are several ways. We know that very basic way is to put some variable initiation procedure to get into these equations, and then we can give some particular procedure just which is easily conventional in case of the other programming languages to make the working strategy to readily analyze those. But the fact is that, like Boolean implementation, as we know in case of digital electronics, which is very important, to make some minimization technique. It is very important to make some minimization technique In case of each and every logic tasks, MATLAB also synthesizes everything by virtue of taking the help of this minimal procedure oriented theory or minimal procedure formulation, by which only in 4 lines, as you can see here, we can grab the particular equational outcome. But before that, some basic syntactical flow are very mandatory to be warned of. First of all, sims xy, as you can see here, syms. What does it mean? Sims is nothing but the acronym of symbolic math function. Basically, when we declare some variable x, y, or whatsoever, we have to cover it within the symbolic math toolbox, because unless and until this symbolic math toolbox is called or symbolic math function is called, we can't give some easy and lucid commands to generalize those equations or to govern the equational procedure to break the solution. So the fact is that this sims function is a very important command in MATLAB task. And after putting this sims command, as you can see, this particular variable initiation has been there, where these two equations are prompted by virtue of the procedure. X plus 2y equals to 2 and 4x plus 5y equals to 3. Now, if we want to get the solution, there are various ways. As I had told you, we can easily implement some Cramer's rule oriented task to get the solution. And that is why, as I had told you, equations to matrix format is a very important command that has been implemented. This equations to matrix command will help to develop the particular analysis by virtue of the Cramer's rule implementation logic. And this Cramer's rule is totally implemented because already x and y are declared under the symbolic math functionality. So as I had told you earlier, also in case of MATLAB, some workflow is needed. Particular example in which this workflow is governed. Well, we will get the output by virtue of this format A and B, and this particular simple example, if we run it, yeah, we'll generate the output, yeah, as you can see in this form, minus 4 by 3 and 5 by 3. To solve it manually, you will get the same outputs also. The question is, in case of this particular simplest programming, this structure, why this structure is implemented, as I had told you, to get some ready-made logic task or to get the aperture in a ready-made logic module or in a particular synthesized aperture, we can easily employ this. Well, now I am coming to another program which is present here. Example Taylor dot mlx. I am coming to this part program. But before going to this is a program in which we are getting into the live script, MATLAB oriented live script. I just taking time from the respected audience, slide. Stream programming, why live editor is very important. Okay, so we have come to the empower part. As I had told you earlier, that empower is nothing but the level student can develop, student can get into a ready-made domain in which much more advanced structure, much more advanced application arena is produced. Now the fact is that in case of this MATLAB, this advanced level can be developed, can be realized by virtue of the several topologies, and live editor is such a topology in which we will get readily addicted to some particular parts or particular application domain in which there is no need to change the syntax each and every time, no need to save it, no need to run it. Yes, no need to run it. Rather, we can develop instantaneous modification of the current script. Well, so how we can do that? Now let me share the programming window in which I am taking the help of Taylor series to make the live script oriented applicability of Matlab. Okay, as we know, Taylor series, the basic expression f of x plus h is equal to fx plus h f dash x plus h square by factorial to f double dash x plus dot dot so on. Okay, fine. Now, in case of the live script oriented application, why the Taylor series has been treated, or why the Taylor series has been included as a particular part of in a particular domain of the convergent series or convergent series oriented application. If we want to narrate the Taylor application, something difficult because of the fact that in the Taylor series oriented expansion, as we know that the basic mathematics says if we raise the order, obviously the series will be convergent, absolutely convergent. Keeping in mind this convergence technique, convergence procedure, we have taken the help of this sign of x as the basic function declaration, where f stands for this sign of x, and we want to take the help of this Taylor function for making the convergence procedure. And as you can see here, to make this particular live script running, the range is also declared by the variable k. Now, you earlier, when we take the help of the live script, it is very much important that what is the basic difference between an ordinary script and the live script. As the name suggests, live is totally significant in the phase of taking some controlling tasks. As you can see here, there are several types of the command prompts and the task pane, which is totally ornamented by different types of the application territories, in out of which this control plays a very, very significant role in the live script oriented application. Yes, from the normal window, we can open live script, and after opening that, we can write a simple program in this way. I am talking about the term simple. Why? Because of the fact that these lines, numerical methods using Matlab, variable and function declaration, these particular terms, these particular statements were not